What is the worst candy? The off-brand Walgreens brand chocolate you get around Easter. It tastes chalky and like it was sweetened with Splenda. Not sure what it is, but there is a whole fucking bowl at my grandma's house. My mom dips black licorice in baking soda when they changed the Crunch Bar recipe. That was a crime against humanity. Jelly Belly Bean Boozled. Ain't nothing like barf and rotten egg flavored beans. Turkey dinner candy corn. They were fun, but waxed lips. They were big, red, and made out of wax. Some even had vampire teeth. Thrills gum. No, I don't want my gum to taste like soap. It's those little colored candy dots attached to a strip of paper. End up eating paper with every one. Musk flavored anything. Stuff is cologne, not candy. Nickel Nip Wax Bottles Candy. It was good for like a second and easy to choke on. Wax lips. The flavored lube that I mistook for candy as a child. How do you ask your girlfriend to have sex with you? Mating dance. Do you have it in you to have it in you? Me. Eyes. Her. Eyes. Fancy the best 30 seconds of your life? Becky, lemme smash. Fuck me if I'm wrong, but you want to fuck me. I put on my robe and wizard hat. Do you want to do something? Sure, what should we do? We could do it. This should be reposted as how do you ask your wife? How do you ask your wife of 10 years? 20 years? 30 years? And see the difference in answers. Turn CBAT on. My girlfriend and I have a simple rule signal. We walk into the room the other is in naked. So for example, I'll be sitting watching TV and she'll walk in naked, that means she want to have sex. Or vice versa. Quick, the kid is on the iPad, mayhaps a crumb of pussy. What is the worst thing a girl could do while having sex? Reach for her phone and start playing Candy Crush. Just as a completely random example, I remember a post from a long time ago about this dude having sex with this girl and all of a sudden she started crying. He asked her what's wrong and she said he reminds her of her dad. Criticize my 2-year-old playlist. Start swiping Tinder. Reverse cowgirl done improperly is the one cause of penile fractures seen in emergency rooms. Had one accidentally dump on my stomach during reverse cowgirl. So I'm going to go with that. Say, is that it? Compare me to my father. That's ever happened to me personally? That time when a woman was blowing me and pulled my dick out of her mouth as she was closing it, dragged her teeth all the way along it, nearly fainted from how much it hurt. Break the penis. Call me by the wrong name. Deaf. Wow, this is the first one I could fit all the way in my mouth. Is it in yet? What was something you didn't know about women till you got with one? How much they shed. 2 women and my housewife and daughter, and once a month I have to pull a disgusting hairball the size of a large rat out of the shower drain. It's like I live with Chewbacca. They pee like pressure washers. Long hair wraps around the vacuum roller brush. Have to cut the hair out of it seasonally. That women can pee like a fire hydrant. They're able to withstand unbelievable temperatures. Whether it be in the shower or under the blankets, bras don't go in the dryer. When menstruating, the breasts can be sensitive too. How impervious to hot water they are. My wife's shower seems permanently set at scalding. Washing the dishes scalding, bath water scalding. No sexy time in the shower here. I value not melting my skin. That the buttons on their shirts were on the other side. That blew my mind. Boob sweat. When they ask if you want to go to the grocery store, they really want you to go with. Some less commonly talked about struggles that come with your disability. Not me, but my dad is blind. Lots of home appliances have been going from physical knobs and buttons with clear distinct functions to touch screen panels, some without even any type of sound or tactile cue to let the person know. Bowel and bladder issues. It may not be obvious, but they can be a constant issue. Also pain that isn't obvious. The fact that it's hard to keep friends because you have to cancel last minute so often. It's not that I don't want to go, I so want to go, but my body said no. Only the best of friends stick around after years of this. Farts are wheelchair height. I use a cane, and sometimes my fiancé forget I only have one hand available when standing. Also the amount of energy required to do the same activities. I am disabled and a part-time forearm crutch user. I have been accused for doing this to get attention because I'm young and I don't look disabled. That would be a good name for a pig. Chief Wiggum. I had a pig named Piggy Azalea. Swiney Todd. Napoleon. Not illegal outside of France that I'm aware of. Our neighbor's constantly escaping pig's name is Piggy Smalls. Man Bear. Has anyone said Waddles yet? Floyd. Walter. Henone. Babe. Oink. Kevin. Hamlet. Crispy. Bacon or like Gus. Wilbur. Waddles. My favorite pig from my favorite cartoon. Harry Plopper. Biggest Piggus. Peter Porker. Piggy McPigface. My friend named his pig the Notorious P. IG, and I never need to hear another name for a pig. I worked for an animal rescue for a few years and one day we got a small piglet in who was named Hamlet instantly. It was a no-kill rescue. He will never be eaten, but it wasn't as a cute name. Wilbur. Donald. Wilbur. Smithfield, or Arnold added commas. John Ham. Bubbles. Reuben. Arnold's wife. Peppa. What's a phrase men hate hearing from women? Do you know why I pulled you over? No, you go ahead. Do whatever you want. I just think it's funny how. Do you like my friend? Because it always ends up in an argument either way. The food thing. I'm not hungry or you not there or there. It's one of the most widely joked about relationship. It has to be one of the truest. I watched two married friends this week and almost lose it over this lol. They couldn't handle me. Relationships are about building each other up, not constantly having to deal with the other person's attitude or poor behavior or mental health. This is not as much of a flex as a lot of people think it is and raises major red flags for me. Tell me what you are thinking. Do I look fat? Be honest, we need to talk. I just hate drama that almost always means they are the drama. Hey you in the bushes. So, is your friend single? Are you even listening to me? And I think to myself, what a weird way to start a conversation. What is the most boring hobby a person can have? Reading obituaries in order to cross out the names in the phone book. Sometimes I stare at my guinea pig and attempt to predict when she will yawn. Audiences are profoundly bored by this. Involuntary collections. My grandmother had a bunch of white porcelain cats when I grew up. Later I found out the only reason she had them was because people kept giving them to her thinking she collected them. She just didn't want to be rude. My dad likes to sit in the garage for hours on end in a lawn chair, drink beer and watch traffic go by. Boring as shit, but he's zen as fuck. My parents both read the newspaper 4 or 5 hours a day. And then discuss the articles they've read with each other. They're very happy doing this, and I'm glad they have this common interest. But for me, phew, that'd be a tough one to get into. Having a hobby that you might think you like but you're only doing it to impress someone. Fantasy curling. People have read it. What should one know before going to a strip club for the first time? You don't strip, they do. In the USA you get $1 notes and you can make it rain. They like that. In the UK £1 is only available in coin form. Do not make it hail. She doesn't like you. I don't like you either. You just watch yourself. I have the death sentence on 12 systems. The stripper does not like you. Don't spend your money all in one place while you're there. Man shrugging, don't fall in love. They are only friendly to you because they want your money. In all honesty, they are probably repulsed by most of the patrons. It's a place where people take off their clothes, not a place where they remove paint from furniture. No matter what the stripper says, there's no sex in the champagne room. That you're throwing away money for blue balls. Bring 1s and 5s. Don't take pictures. Gay bar strippers in Montreal will totally let you suck their what quietly went away without anyone noticing. 3D TVs. Soapy. Ronald McDonald. Too many people are petrified of clowns. BlackBerry phones. Panama Papers. Google. Raspberry Brisk apparently. But I noticed PepsiCo. I'm not bitter about it. Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book. Murder hornets. Buying a new game and having a thick chunky manual filled with game lore which you would read before playing and so heighten the anticipation of the game itself. Jack Nicholson. Q drops. Telephone books. Free samples. I used to see free sample shtandas every time I went to a store. Now they are gone. Blueberry morning cereal, bowl with spoon, crying face, the damn TV remote, stand up you're probably sitting on IT. S'more Ritz crackers. Taylor Lautner. HQ trivia. Anti-marijuana commercials. The word cyberspace. iPod and other MP3 players. What have you given up because of inflation? Ordering any kind of takeout. $20 for one person for a mediocre meal. No thanks. Chicken wings. I haven't purchased anything relevant to any of my hobbies in around 8 months. I've started tossing out significantly less food. I'm lucky that I've been able to afford a chest freezer before inflation hit, and it's been a lifesaver. Any leftover scrap just goes in there. Just when I started to live comfortably, inflation hit hard and now I'm back to scraping by paycheck to paycheck because, like always, my pay doesn't keep up with inflation. Going out to eat. A meal for two that used to cost me around $45 now costs about $80. Quite a few branded products like Pepsi. Also don't eat out much these days. Canned beans, had to switch to dry beans only. Being a 2-car household. Went from middle class to towing the poverty line. You get $100 million, but you must make one species extinct. What do? Botfly. Ask for $1 billion and submit a top 10 list. Human head lice. Bedbugs. Bedbugs can fuck off and die. Make tapeworms go extinct. Goodbye bedbugs. Fleas. Ticks are gone. Lanternflies. They arrived around 2015 in places like PA and I'm already finding them here in NYC. They will kill our agriculture. We're encouraged to kill them when we see them. I'll go with eliminating Species 3. I mean I really liked Species, and Species 2 was terrible but enjoyable. The direct-to-video Species 3 can be eliminated without consequence. Bedbugs. Mosquitoes. Those lantern moth things. The malaria parasite. This is carried by mosquitoes, and does nothing positive for anyone. Mosquitoes arguably do positive things in some aspects. What is surprisingly illegal? In Germany it's legal to break out of prison but not in your prison uniform, because that would be stealing. If in Western Australia, possessing more than 50 kilograms of potatoes. Yep, you read that correctly. Potatoes. It is illegal to parachute inside St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican after a person did it. They had to create that law specifically for him. He walked away no charge, as the law did not exist. In the most southern island of the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, it's illegal to curse publicly. In my country, not having at least one bidet installed per home. Added since many keep asking the country is Italy. Alarming the Queen. Section 49 of the Criminal Code of Canada. Sentence of up to 14 years in prison. In China, it's illegal to reincarnate without the government's permission. You can't put a donkey in a bathtub in my state. People who rarely get sick. What are your secrets? Sleep. I'm very introverted. I tell all viruses they can't infect me. They cannot legally enter my body without my consent. Ever since I started sleeping early and getting 9 hours of sleep I stopped getting sick so often. Not sure if that's it but could be. Agoraphobia mostly. Eating relatively well, getting enough sleep, exercising and not being around kids. I'm too busy to get sick. I rescheduled my sick days to the final week of my life. Nice try. Infectious disease. I have no idea, either. I started getting sick more and more once I took up smoking. I stopped mid last year and it took a few months but I seem to be almost back to normal with rarely getting sick. I'm allergic to everything so my immune system is already on high alert and fighting everything. But it's literally like having a mild cold all the time. Alcohol kills bacteria so I make sure to drink a lot of it. What is a food you could eat every day and not get bored of? Bread, baguette, tacos. Potatoes boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Lovely big golden chips with a nice piece of fried fish. Pasta and tomato sauce. In fact I used to as a student. Pizza, every day, everywhere, every way. Freshly baked bread with butter. Sandwiches. French fries. This is going to be controversial. But for me, sushi. When I take a roll and dip into soy sauce with wasabi in it, it tastes like ambrosia to me. Dumplings. A good soft taco. Pretty much any Mexican food really. It never gets old. Tacos, apple crisp, watermelon. Pasta. I know most people think of all pasta as tasting the same but for me spaghetti is a completely different meal than penne or orzos. It also helps I'm Italian. Popcorn if I'm allowed to season it differently sometimes lol. How do you think the Ukraine war will end? With many dead people who had other plans for life. As do most wars, it will end poorly for both sides. Russia becomes China's lil bitch for the next few centuries. Most likely Putin will double down unless the elites overthrow him. China invades Taiwan. Putin is assassinated. Interim government withdraws troops and sues for peace. Reparations are a moot point, as Russia is left in an economic shambles. In tragedy, there can be no good outcome. It'll end when Putin is dead. I'm hoping something terrible happens to Putin, the rest of the people in the government wake up and end this, and Russia does all it can to rebuild Ukraine and then leave them alone. Putin has to die, there is no other way. Some bullshit staged peace talks that Putin will walk away from like every other time and go about business as usual with the other world leaders. Ukraine will survive. Sorry if I offended you cause Russia military is dumb. With which old movie is better than most movies today? Alien 1979. The perfect blend of horror, atmosphere and fantastic production design. Nothing much recently has been able to capture that lived in quality Alien had. All About Eve. Some like it hot. 1959. The Hunt for Red October is way better than so many action thrillers today. The Thing. 1982. M12 Angry Men. The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Alien the first two. I watched it last year and shit was scary. The Great Escape 1963. A true story edited add-on. Alien. The Sting. Seriously, watch it. I'm surprised Hollywood hasn't decided to remake it yet. They're always having a boner for remaking things as they lack originality. The Apartment 1960. Psycho. The Bridge on the River Kwai. This is Spinal Tap. Life of Brian. Wrath of Khan. The Shining. Dr. Strangelove has held up extremely well. What is something that everyone just pretends to like? Their haircut when the hairdresser shows you the back of it with their little mirror. Before social media, pictures of other people's vacation that got developed at the drugstore. Everyone on match sites just fucking lives to hike in the mountains. Having the restaurant staff sing you happy birthday. The pizza party at work for working 300 extra hours in a month to meet quotas. Baby showers. Just stab me with a plastic fork in the eye. Other people's kids. Employers' holiday parties. Singing happy birthday to each other every year. The music you show them. Everyone has different taste. Working. The vast majority of people hate their jobs and would rather do something else. Drinking as they get older. It's been a part of me for a while now, but it's become expensive. Makes me feel like shit and apparently beer bloats me now. If you get too wild it feels like it can take longer than a day to recover. Damn it all, what's the worst job to hear someone say "F it"? Surgeon about to operate on you. A pilot. The safety inspector at a nuclear power plant. Mortician. Tattoo artist. Either a doctor or a dentist. Suicide prevention hotline. Fuck it, jump. Neurosurgeon. Other surgeons can more or less go back and fix things. A tiny slip of hand and bam, you're a vegetable. Surgeon. Carnival ride operator. Kindergarten teacher. Bomb diffuser, saying that would be terrifying. Heart or brain surgeon. Dude who straps your ass into a carnival death machine. Let's be real, that's way more likely to happen. Dentist. My ex actually had a dentist go fuck and storm out of the room once. Turned out he'd broken off part of some tool deep under one of her teeth and needed to get someone to come help him get it out again. The people that are the quality control for making sure perishable food items are correctly sealed when they leave the factory. Your defense attorney. Gynecologist. Which actor did such a kick-ass job in a certain role that you could never imagine anyone else playing it? Pretty much all of the LOTR cast. Also Alan Rickman as Severus Snape. Killed it from the very start. The cast of The Princess Bride. Hugh Laurie as Dr. Gregory House. Danny DeVito as Frank Reynolds. I'd seen him in a bunch of stuff before, but Frank is the perfect role for him. Say what you want about the character. Imelda Staunton, who plays that massive cunt Dolores Umbridge, did a fantastic job at making me hate her. Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard. Anthony Starr as Homelander. James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano. Joffrey Baratheon. Rainn Wilson as White Shroot. Maggie Smith as Professor McGonagall. Sir Ian McKellen as Gandalf. Jeff Bridges as the Dude. Nick Offerman as Ron Swanson. J.K. Simmons as Jonah Jameson. So good that he played the same character across multiple Spider-Verses. What's a good movie to watch stoned? Fantastic Planet. You were warned not to. Not a movie, but Our Planet on Netflix is so peaceful and interesting to watch while stoned. Super Troopers Office Space. The gods must be crazy. I don't know the general consensus on this movie, but I watched Hot Fuzz stoned the other day and was cracking up. Grandma's Boy. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love a Bomb. I was so stoned the first time I saw this movie, I didn't even realize that Peter Sellers played 3 characters. And I enjoyed it so much. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. The Big Lebowski. Heavy Metal 1981, Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, Bill Ted's Excellent Adventure, Spirited Away, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, Thank Me Later, Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny, Half Baked, Step Brothers, Baraka, The Matrix, Thumbs Up. You borrowed $5 from a friend and played the lottery and won $80 million. How much will you give your friend and why? I'd probably give them a little holiday bonus, so $6. If I win $80 mil, which is around $50 mil after taxes off the money someone lent to me, I'd buy them almost whatever the fuck they wanted. I used his $5 to buy a drink. My $5 bought the ticket. I wouldn't borrow money from a friend just to play the lottery, because I'm not a shitty friend. Pay off their mortgage. I'd do that for all my friends. Luckily it's only 3. I'd still have to pay back $5 if I lost. So $5. The $5 back. In that hypothetical he's absolutely getting half. 1 to 10 million depending on the friend. 40 million $5. Half, plus the 5. New phone, who dis? Half. They put up the money, and I selected the winning numbers. 50-50 on contribution.
Which actor seemed miscast in a role, but ended up killing it? Gary Oldman as Zorg in The Fifth Element. Patrick Warburton as Lemony Snicket. Really came out of nowhere for me. Michael Keaton in Batman. People lost it when he was cast. Will Ferrell in Stranger Than Fiction. Played an excellent role as a non-goofball. Charlize Theron in Monster. Daniel Radcliffe in everything after Harry Potter. Jason Bateman in Ozark. She seems like a nice lady hobbling. Daniel Craig in Knives Out. It was supposed to just be goofy, but he did a great job. Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump. Both Steve Martin and Rick Moranis in My Blue Heaven. The guy who played Sam in LOTR.
Which pizza is the best pizza? Surprise pizza. Come home from a long day at work and see they ordered pizza. Oh boy, free pizza. Personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut in 1996 that was free because I read some books. The pizzas from animated 90s cartoons where they would take a bite and the cheese would stretch out on a long, impossible strand. Nothing will compare to how I imagine those pizzas taste. Leftover pizza. The gift's so nice you ate it twice. The Krusty Krab pizza. Obviously, the pizza I'm about to eat. Wood-fired pizza. Pizza by Alfredo. Margarita pizza. Pepperoni. Jets. Margarita. You can always tell how good a pizza place is by their plain pizza. They can't hide under any ingredients. Detroit. I love thick and crunchy crust. Pepe's, Sally's, breakfast pizza, that rectangular school lunch pizza from when I was a kid. And Pizza Hut pan pizza. Lou Malnati's. Why do you think so many kids and teens are depressed nowadays? Vaguely gesturing at everything. They can't afford to build their own life like previous generations did. Social media portraying unrealistic, sometimes not real standards of people's lives. No money, difficult to find a job even if you have studies, kind of impossible to buy a house. This puts on us a lot of stress and anxiety. At least in my case is so. I think younger people are more aware of issues and their complexities, but they're stuck in a system that's run by older people who aren't. Is this supposed to be answered in the form of a checklist indicating in how many ways they're totally screwed for life? Smiley face. They always were. Young people today are more aware that the system is rigged. I mean, have you looked at the state of the world lately? Can't say I blame them. It's bad out there. Bills are too damn high. I love how in this comment section you can immediately tell if someone's a boomer or not. Which attractive celebrity isn't really all that attractive in your opinion? John Cena, I don't see it. Drake. Whatever Megan Fox has turned into. Kylie Jenner. Blake Shelton named People's Sexy Man of the Year. Chrissy Teigen. Jared Leto. Timothy Chalamet looks like Tom Burton drew him. Edit fuck it. I'm leaving the typo. I find it funny that I spelled the fucked up name correctly and screwed up the simple one. Pete Davidson. Harry Styles. I don't get it. One looks like a heroin junkie and the other just looks like a normal dude. Pete Davidson. I just don't see it. Yuck. Timothy something who looks like a malnourished British chimney sweep. Last name Kardashian. Do not care about you, anything you've done, your family, or anything the family has their fingers in. Gwyneth Paltrow. Kim Kardashian. Chrissy Teigen. Denori people raving about Matt Damon. Never found him remotely attractive. Channing Tatum.
What's something you just want to get off your chest? I'm envious of all these people with deep friendships and relationships in general. I simply want someone I can open up to and talk to without the fear of betrayal. But I focused too much on my career that I forgot to keep up with friends. Now I have a decent career but no friends. I don't know what direction my life is going and everything is weird now. Things are not as I expected. I really hate how I look. So much. Thank you. I hate taking time off to go camping, but everyone keeps telling me to go camping. I honestly feel like I'm outgrowing where I live, outgrowing some friends, and I'm also outgrowing my relationship. I just feel like I'm stuck sometimes.
Who would make a perfect female president of the United States of America and why? My mom. She'll whip this whole country into shape and have everyone in bed by 9:30. Perfect is an absolute and only sits still in absolutes. Dolly Parton. Everyone likes Dolly. Ellen Ripley. Is this the DNC fishing for the next nominee? Leslie Knope. Katie Porter. She is amazing with her whiteboard. I can see her giving the State of the Union address and pulling out her whiteboard to show trends in the economy. Katie Porter. I am a fan of hers. I like Katie Porter. Doesn't beat around the bush and knows how to back up her arguments with facts. Anyone that isn't corrupted to the bone would be nice for a change. That woman from Resident Evil. If she can take on the Umbrella Corporation, she can take on Congress. My dog. She's a good girl, treats for everyone. That guy's dead wife. My mother, she's pretty cool. Perfect doesn't fit well with US President. What do you envy the most about the opposite sex? If I magically became a woman for a day, I'd like to have one of their orgasms. No periods. Ever. None. They can pee anywhere. I'm jealous of girl because they get to wear dresses. Todd Flanders. The Simpsons. When a woman has boobs, it's normal. When I have boobs, I'm just fat. Peeing in the woods. I'm an avid hiker. Yes, I still do. Yes, I have special cups and stuff to help. But to just whip it out and go, no mess? Wicked jealous. As I am train traveling through Europe right now, I would have to say peeing while standing. This train toilets make me sick. When a woman sleeps with a bunch of dudes, she's a slut. When I do it, I'm gay. They can compliment other people without getting weird looks. For women, crying is considered normal, but according to my experiences, males can't really do that in front of other people, maybe with some expectations like family. It's a small act of kindness you were once shown, that you'll never forget. I was given access to a shower and a hot meal after being homeless for 9 months. My gym teacher purchased me lunch in 3rd grade after I dropped mine. I'm 34 years old and still remember this. I was at a concert and a couple behind me gave me a VIP pass to get a picture with the artist because their friend couldn't come. Never will forget it. I fainted walking up steps on my way to calculus at university. A stranger caught me and put me down on the landing. If it wasn't for him, I would have gotten very hurt. I broke my foot and was trying to limp my way across campus with crutches in the pouring rain. Someone ran over with their umbrella and walked across campus with me so I wouldn't get rained on. The time my car broke down in the middle of the night and my phone died and I didn't know what to do. A random stranger pulled over and told me we all need a little help sometimes, and I'll never forget her words as she helped me jumpstart my car.
What is a word that sounds inappropriate? Uvula dangly bit in your throat. I've seen a gas station called Munch and Pump, and while those two words separately are fine, together they are very uncomfortable. Manhole. Ballcock is a type of valve. Flaps. It's always enjoyable to take an oral exam on the penal code. Masticate. Fartlek. It's a running term, and as a grown man I still giggle when I hear it. Kumquat. Dongle. Cock. Bulbous. Shunt. Pussy willow. Jiggers, also known as the Chigo flea. Similarly, chiggers, also known as berry bugs. Titillating. Clematis. Thespian. Cumin. Dongle. Mangrove. Volvo.
What food doesn't taste as good as it used to? Hostess snack cakes, Butterfingers, or Nestle chocolate in general. My grandma's cooking. She left me her recipes when she passed, but I still can't recreate her magic. Oreo cookies don't taste as good to me for some reason. KFC has gone way downhill in the past 25 years. Juicy fruit gum. They ruined the flavor 20 years ago. It tastes bitter after 20 seconds. They should just discontinue the gum. Thin Mints. Most other Girl Scout cookies since they changed manufacturer, but I miss the old Thin Mints the most. Pizza Hut. Nearly all mass-market American candy bars have gone downhill. Even Hershey bars stuff tastes like brown wax. Good gourmet specialty bars abound, but they'll cost. Worth it, thought. Pop-Tarts. They are chalky pasty and so thin now. Pizza Hut. It used to be almost unreasonably good for a chain restaurant. What's some basic knowledge that a scary amount of people don't know? Where their water shutoff is in their house. How long it takes a semi-truck to stop. Just because it's natural doesn't mean it is automatically healthy. Just because it is artificial or synthetic doesn't mean it is automatically bad for you. First aid. How to merge in traffic. How to spot an obvious scam. Look how many people fall for those clickbait articles and chain posts and propaganda and stuff. That the scientific meaning of theory isn't what the colloquial sense means. Evidence-based reasoning and what evidence means. That not all internet news is real. Sit properly in any vehicles. Leg injuries are no joke, and you can even break your legs easily in a car crash because your legs were on the dashboard. Don't bother wild animals. I'm sure it's just natural selection at this point, but the amount of stupid people I see walking up to wild creatures for video footage is irritating tbh. Bonus points if the human gets hurt, haha.
What is classy if you're rich, but trashy if you're poor? Being on a first-name basis with a judge. Mattress on a child's floor. Montessori for the rich. Looked down upon on the poor. Wearing a bathrobe all day. Someone else raising your kids. Police escorts. Day drinking. Casinos. Florida edit, born and raised in Florida Gulf Coast, can confirm. Am I poor classy or rich trashy? Neither. I'm Floridian. Not working. Giving your kids hard to spell say names. Doing coke. Getting money from the government. The most expensive thing you own is a really old car. If you live in a tiny home, it's eco-friendly. If you live in a trailer, you're trash. Buying old cars.
How much would you pay for a list of everyone who has ever fantasized about or to you? Why? Is there a premium option to filter for everyone who has ever to me, that it'd be happy to see on the list? $10 for a number. And depending on that number is how much I'd pay for the list. Nothing. I don't want to know. It's asking for trouble. I would pay a considerable amount of money to not know about several of them. A nice glass filled with ice-cold sparkling water. $5. It'll be a short list. $20. Realistically, it would be interesting, but at the same time I'm concerned if there's something that I'd rather not see on that list. I would pay money to never see it. I wouldn't buy it because I could never emotionally recover if I see a blank paper. Either I get surprised by seeing people that actually think that way about me, or the list is blank, confirming my theory and crushing what little self-esteem I have. What would you refuse to buy even if you were a millionaire? Heated seat subscription. Reddit avatars. Anything that would inform someone I was in fact a millionaire. The extended warranty that I keep getting calls about. Anything Reddit sells. Diced pineapple for $2.13 when I can get a whole pineapple for 89 cents. Correction, $2.19 for pineapple and $4.48 for diced. I remembered it being $1.89 in my mind while making this post. Said let's forget the one. Comcast. Swore it off in 2009 and I'm not looking back. Meth, big ass house because I easily get scared by random sounds around our home and we live in an apartment. Dizzy face, dizzy, anything and everything that screams I've got money. I wouldn't flaunt my wealth if I had any. Polishing cloth that Apple started selling for $20. Probably a person. Seems like it's an outdated practice at this point.